Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nia. If you're new, welcome, nice to meet you. Make sure to subscribe, join the family. Today I'm going to be doing a walkthrough of one of my illustrations using my XP pen. This is the Starfree 003 version 2, and this is the only illustration tablet that I have. I've hooked it up into Critter, and this is the program that I use when I'm illustrating on my laptop. It's the first program that I actually came across other than Photoshop, and the reason why I really like using Critter is because it's so similar to Photoshop. It looks kind of the same layout, so I just found it really easy to navigate my way around it. Now when I'm starting off an illustration, I always start with the base layer, and the base layer is just going to be a fine pencil that I draw a very soft base layer, and this is just going to be the guide for when I start painting and adding all of the details that I want. So this is the bit that I can make all the mistakes I want. I can be as sketchy as I want, don't have to follow any lines or make it perfect or whatnot. I can just be free and create something, and then with the next layers I will expand on it and make it a lot better. So I've just created a new layer, and I'm going for my favorite tool. This is a soft, I'm not sure if it's a brush, but it's a spray kind of thing, and I use this for all of my skin and for the hair because it blends so beautifully. I add shadows by pressing harder on the pen, and I just like to add little highlights here and there and add depth. And I never worry about going outside the lines or anything like that because it's a new layer. I can make all the mistakes I want, and that's the best thing about layers. You can make so many mistakes on each layer, and when you rub something out, it doesn't erase everything that you've just done before. Now I wanted you guys to see how I actually use my pen and which buttons I use, and I go back and forth from using my tablet and the keys on my keyboard, or the mouse on my keyboard should I say, and eventually I'm going to show you guys what the full piece looks like painting with the full screen, so you can see what kind of brushes I use. But for now I'm just going to show you guys which buttons I use on my tablet. So the best thing about this tablet is that it has buttons on the side. There's 8 buttons, and you can customize each button to whatever you want to use. So I have the top button I use to create new settings for my tablet. Then I have a zoom in, zoom out, and erase, and then I just have 2 other zoom ins and zoom outs. They scroll up and scroll down. Then I create a new layer, and this new layer I add in the details for the eyes. So my signature at the moment is a big eye with 4 lashes on top and 3 on the bottom, and I only draw the outline for, I should say, for 3/4 of the eye, and I go over the mouth and just do an outline all around the face, the ears, underneath the nose, and some bits of the hair. I just really love using a black pen because I feel like it makes everything pop even more, and it draws the eye to the details that you want the eye to be drawn to. Again, I do this in the new layer. I kind of wanted to make an annoyed face in this one. Usually I do like a sweet face, but this time I want to try and add a little bit more expression with what I'm doing. So I did that with the eyebrows, having them kind of slanted upwards, like really kind of look. Just playing around. Now I want to do a lot of practicing when it comes with the hair. I want to try different brushes to see if I can create different textures, but for now I'm just going to use the same pen that I was using. Now I'm just cleaning off my mistakes. I don't have to worry too much about the hair because, as I said, I like to use the soft spray to go over the hair with a different colour, so I'm not really going to focus too much on cleaning up the hair. Now in terms of little glitches or anything like that with the tablet, the only thing that I would say is that sometimes I do find it difficult to go back and forth from the eraser and the pen if I've just been using the eraser for quite a long time on my illustration and then I go back to using the pen. It doesn't always work so well. I have to make sure that I bring the pen all the way to where you see the blue light, and once I see the blue light come on, then I know that it's reconnected. So sometimes it can disconnect when you're doing something for quite a while, but it picks up quite quickly. Another thing I would say is when you first get this tablet, its settings are to English American. So if you're from the UK like I am, I had to change it to English United Kingdom, but it's only a minor thing. It's especially if you want to use the buttons. Now I've created a new layer for the hair, and the fun thing about layers is you can move them up and down depending on how bright you want them to be. So I just moved it down behind the black outlines, and I've hidden my original illustration so that it's just all the new perfected pieces. So here is the close-up so you can see what I use and the different size of each brush and whatnot. Just doing a bit of cleaning up here. So I zoom in on my tablet or zoom out on my tablet, and then I use the sliders using my my mouse to slide to left or right or up and down so that I can get to the section that I want to get to. And I didn't realize I had this drawing so high up on the canvas until I scrolled out just then. So I'm now just going over with some more shadows and the highlights just to get a more realistic skin tone. Back to my favorite spray, I like to add a little bit of blush on the cheeks just to have a different dimension on the face. But sometimes it's choosing which colour you want it to be, and then for the lips as well. I settled on a darker colour for the lips. And make sure that the bottom lip is slightly darker, and so is the line in the middle in between the lips. Always make sure to sign your piece. then do any last minute touch-ups. But this is my walkthrough. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any more questions, leave them in the comments. I'll get round to answering them for you. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.